What's up, guys? It's my birthday today, 31. Unfortunately, I've noticed on Twitter, YouTube, all this, there's a bit of drama going on in the YouTube community, and it dismays me a little bit. I don't like seeing it because I love this community so much. I love all you guys who are involved with it, and I think 99.9% of the time, it's wonderful, awesome, goes really well. I think when this sort of strife happens in communities like this, it can be a good thing. It sucks when people are hurt and feelings are hurt, but it gives us an opportunity to grow, learn, and we're sort of refined by fire. So I just encourage everybody to sort of take a deep breath and let's use this to become better. Don't get angry. Don't get upset. Well, you can get angry if you want. There's things that make you angry, but ultimately, I want everybody, this community, to grow and become better through this. I don't know specifically what was said. From what I gather, there were sort of verbal attacks, whether it's through a video or through comments, towards specific YouTubers, newer YouTubers, newer comic collectors, and women specifically as well. So that's what I gather. That's what I'm basing this on. And that's part of the issue I have with sort of the response of all this. I've seen a lot of videos of people getting upset, saying sort of what I'm saying now, this is what I heard, but not wanting to show links to the actual video or the comment because they don't want to draw attention to it. But for us to work through this, we all need to know what was said and be able to come up with our own opinions and responses, because things can change and shift so quickly when it's going down the line, you know what I mean? So if you have an issue with something, you're going to make a response video to something that was said. Be very specific, show links to what it is. I don't think people do these things just to get attention. I think they got some steam to blow off, and that's happening, and I think we need to respond to it properly. The response to this has been amazing so far. I think it's just a great example of how amazing this group is. Because everybody's stepping up and defending the girls, defending these new YouTubers, these fake nerds, and it's wonderful. Something like this happened a while ago, and I saw it was the same sort of idea, people stepping up and defending. But there was another thing that happened not too long ago where a trade was going on, and the books didn't get to the person who was supposed to get them during the trade, or a few people. And people just really turned on this guy and got really cruel and really mean. He kind of disappeared off YouTube for a while, and then no one really knew what was going on. Maybe he was in the wrong, maybe not. But people got really, like, at times cruel to this person, and I don't think that's right at all. So what I've noticed is a lot of people are really turning on the people who said these things. Now, again, I don't know specifically what was said. So maybe it came out really heinous and cruel and mean. I don't know. And if that's the case, I get why people are so upset. But we need to not turn on one group while defending another. Let's get into like sort of the root of what caused a lot of these problems. Now, I think a lot of this came out of Mercy Little Show's discussion on diversity. From what I gather, again, I don't know for sure. That topic and what's going on in comics with these characters being shifted and changing, and gender roles switching, racial stuff switching, things in the movies and things going on. These are heavy duty concepts people are dealing with, especially longtime collectors, longtime readers who sort of had things somewhat the same for a long time. When these things start happening and these sort of changes are being forced onto them, that they can have an emotional response. Some people, they hold these characters very, very strongly. These childhood, they were raised on these characters from childhood. They firmly believe in them. And when they're messed with, they have a serious problem with that. And I can understand where that's coming from. So when you start to change those characters and say, well, this guy could be black, this guy could be white, a lot of people are forced to start thinking about these issues themselves and what that means, and they don't like how they feel about it. Maybe they don't like themselves. Maybe they don't like that they're starting to see that what was always the accepted opinion is now shifting and changing. And like, it's a hard process to go through for people to grow like that, and for us to all just turn on them because they're reacting. I think is unfair. I think we need to be respectfully challenging them to grow themselves. So if someone comes out and says something like that, I think the first step is to like private message them. Think about what you say. Don't come out with a really heinous, angry response, like emotional response to whatever they said. Take a deep breath, think about it, sleep on it, and write something out thoughtful. Have with like a thought out argument of like, you know, man, I totally disagree with you because of this, this, and this. I know where you're coming from, but I'm going to say you're wrong on this. If you do it nicely and lovingly, you're going to help that person grow 10 times more than calling him an asshole and telling him like he's a terrible person or whatever. I just like comics are almost like a faith to a lot of people, and when that gets challenged and their worldview and things are challenged, it can be really difficult to deal with. So I think we need to be discussing these things because it's wonderful. Comics are art. It's an art form. It's a commercial art form, but it's still an art form. And the whole point of art is to challenge us and make us think about these things. Look at our worldview. Look at how we think about things like gender and race and how we treat each other. And it's all really great, wonderful things. It gives us this opportunity to discuss these things. And I'd almost like to see it more on the comic book community, bringing up some of these concepts and talking about what that means. But when that happens, it's going to get messy sometimes. People are going to clash. People are going to get emotional. And I think we have to have some grace with each other there. But I know it can be hard because we get offended, we get hurt. But that's why I like seeing how well the majority of the YouTube community is supporting these people who feel like they've been attacked, because that's how we can continue to grow and learn through all this. Yeah, comment boards and things like that, and the internet, it's really easy to escalate when you have sort of an emotional feeling about something and you don't even know why. You start saying things you don't mean, you start calling people names, you start doing things like that, and it's just not right. And I've been there too, I've done it, I'm not perfect by any means. But we need to sort of take a deep breath and respond respectfully and caringly, and that's how our community is going to grow and get better. And so I'm really sorry to anyone who was offended by words that were said. I hope that there's no one in this community who feels like they're excluded, that they're not welcome or anything. Like, I think any race, creed, sexual orientation, gender, if you're new to comics, if you're old to them, you're absolutely welcome. I just think everyone should be respectful to each other, and if you're not, we got to step up, be the bigger man or woman, and respond to them respectfully. Help that person grow. Let's make them stronger. Don't ostracize them. Don't force them out of the community, because they're never going to change that way. They're never going to grow. This is an opportunity to make the world that much better. So let's step up and challenge these people in a loving way, and we're going to be better for it. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll catch you later.